going gamma. Now, many of you are familiar with some of the different frequency states of your brain, and you know that there are states that put you in different kinds of modalities, different kinds of perspectives. But many of you are also not familiar with the idea called the gamma state, which is between 40 and 100 cycles per second in your brain. In the typical channeling state, it averages somewhere around 45 to 50 cycles per second. 45, 50 hertz, as you say. And this particular vibration allows you to experience in the neurological net of your brain more cohesiveness, more acceleration, more connection, more synchronization, while also simultaneously allowing certain neural pathways to actually close down in order for the focus that is necessary to bring through information from higher perspectives, higher points of view. Now, in general, when you are doing anything that you love to do, following your excitement, acting on your passion, you are in a gamma state. The idea being, as you say, in the zone, peak performance, deep meditation, but also simply when you are engaged and involved, not noticing what you call the passage of time. That is the gamma state, also typically called the channeling state. Now, you can channel in a sense without being in the gamma state, because every single one of you from time to time will channel through the gamma state by acting on the thing you love most, by following your passion. And anytime you do, you are, in a sense, connecting with your higher mind, bringing more of your total being through, accessing information and perspectives and ideas and dimensions that may not necessarily be par for the course in your day-to-day existence when not functioning in the gamma state. Nevertheless, it isn't the only way in which many of you channel. To really bring it down to a simple understanding, because each and every one of you is a greater being than just your physical persona, you can understand that because physical reality is a projection, is an illusion, is a reflective mirror happening within your consciousness and doesn't really exist outside of you, then this personality, this person you consider yourselves to be, is actually a channeled entity, because you are projecting it moment to moment to moment to moment to create the continuity of your personality, the identity that you typically think yourself to be, which is only a small fraction of who you really are. But when you allow yourself to harmonize and align that personality structure that is already being channeled with the higher mind by going into the gamma state, then the persona becomes far more representative of the higher mind. You start really functioning and expressing yourself in physical reality as more of the total being that you are, the total person that you are, and you start experiencing your reality in a very different way, with a lot more positive synchronicity, a lot more manifestation, a lot more perspective on timing and experience of being in the right place at the right time, interacting exactly with whom you need to interact. You amplify your senses, stretch them out, and allow them to begin to perceive things that were heretofore invisible to you, whether they be just more energy forms, different colors, or actual other entities that are around you all the time that are simply now invisible to you, that you can allow to become visible by going into the gamma state more and more, practicing that state, living in that state, acting from that state to allow more creative expression in your life, more freedom of expression in your life. And in doing so, allowing your life to feel very fulfilled, very ecstatic, very effortless, flowing, along your path of least resistance. So practicing getting into the gamma state will allow you to truly begin to accelerate and evolve in a very different way, in a much more expanded way, in a much fuller way, a more all-encompassing way. We will thus help you with a permission slip that we will deliver during your holotope, as the holotope meditation, to crystallize in your ability to call upon and shift yourself to the gamma state when and where you so desire, until such time as, while you continue to practice it, it becomes your first nature. It becomes your typical natural state of being, and thus you can experience your life within that state, take any actions that you take on your passion from within that state, and allow your life to become far more synchronized, far more magical, far more miraculous. Because as we have said, miracles are the natural order of existence. They are not the exception to the rule. The fact that you don't necessarily always experience your life as miraculous, that's the exception. And you are now at a place and a time where you are evolving past that limitation, past that limited perspective, where you can begin to open up those senses and see reality in a very different way, knowing that it is actually coming from within you. For as we have said also, remember that spirit is your natural state. That high vibration is your natural state. You are all mostly in spirit right now, and you are simply dreaming that you're not. That's what physical reality is. It's a projection of consciousness that allows you to focus your consciousness, your spirit self, in such a way as to pretend that it is no longer in spirit, but it is, and can never leave it. So you are in spirit right now, dreaming that you're not. And thus the idea of going into gamma more and more and allowing that to become your natural expression, your natural state of being in life, with everything that you do, will allow you to begin to wake up in the physical dream, become more lucid in the physical dream, and really experience your life as a dream, allowing it to be far more flexible, far more malleable, far more shiftable, so that you can experience the manifestations that are relevant for you, important for you, that you need in life, in that perfect timing, letting your life unfold in a way that you know already works, not having to force it to work, make it work, manipulate it into working, which are all completely the opposite of what really allows it to reveal to you that it already does work if you will only let it. The gamma state will allow you to relax into that knowingness that your life works, and as you allow yourself to experience more and more of the gamma state, you'll be able to see the examples that your life works and that your passion can support you, and you can begin to truly glide through life in a way where all the things that are not in alignment with your true vibration will come to the forefront very clearly, so that you can let them go and add their energy to your overall momentum of excitement and continue to expand and accelerate yourselves in that way. So, when we take you through that permission slip meditation, you can allow yourself to continue to practice it every day in whatever way works for you, in the best way that works for you, and bit by bit, day by day, you will experience more and more of the reflections that are commensurate with that gamma state and see life as it truly is, rather than the illusions you have put before yourself that don't work for you. It is all about understanding the power of the illusion as opposed to falling under the illusion of power. So before we begin the exchange of dialogue and questions, and before we take you through the permission slip meditation at the end of this transmission during the holotope experience, we will give you a little bit of practice right now to prepare you for this meditation. And this involves your breathing state. As you have witnessed, when the channel goes into the gamma state to align with our frequency and allow our thoughts to translate through him into your language so that we may communicate with you, there is an alteration, a shift in the breathing patterns in the channel's body. This is for the purpose of increasing and enhancing the alignment of his vibration with ours, so that we can harmonize and so he can become a translator for our thoughts by allowing himself in the proper state, the gamma state, to have the same thoughts at the same time we are having them, and thus, like two tuning forks vibrating in harmony, bring through the translation from our reality to yours. But the breathing also in that state, because there is extra energy flowing through the body, and that the brain is now working on a very high level, in a very coordinated, accelerated level, it brings into the body oxygen in a very different way to flood the body with extra oxygen to support the extra energy so that the channel does not burn out. This will be part and parcel of your experience in going into gamma from time to time, where your breathing will shift. You may experience different sensations in your body from time to time that are any blockages that you may have getting out of the way and opening up to allow the extra energy through, to allow you to start functioning in a more aligned, harmonious, and coordinated way with the gamma frequency. So do not be alarmed if you experience some of those symptoms and sensations. It is all natural for you to experience a little bit of stretching when allowing more of that energy into your being. Again, in very short order, it can become ecstatic because, again, the gamma frequency is representative of you being in a state of passion, in a state of love, in a state of creativity and allowance. So it won't necessarily last very long, but we are just letting you know that these things may be part of your experience, your process in allowing the gamma state to become your natural state over time. Doesn't have to happen tomorrow. Doesn't have to happen next week, doesn't have to happen next month or next year. It's up to you. The pace that you are comfortable at acclimating to the gamma state is completely in your hands, completely up to you. There's no right way, no wrong way, no right timing, no wrong timing, except the perfect timing for you. So just let it flow, let it be natural, let yourself acclimate to it in a way that allows you to feel that it is completely comfortable and natural for you. So, a little bit of practice now with the breathing. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Now, most of you took that breath in through your nose. You will still, in a sense, be breathing through your nose, but it's not going to feel like you are. Now, open your mouth and breathe in that way, through your mouth. All right, now, that's a different sensation. You're opening up the back of your throat in order to allow the air to come in and go out. So now here's the trick. Instead of feeling like you are breathing through your nose, or instead of feeling like you are breathing through your mouth with your mouth open, allow yourself to begin to breathe through your mouth with your mouth open, but halfway through, close your mouth, but continue to inhale. So that the back of your throat is still open. And it doesn't feel so much like the air is coming through your nose anymore. So that's a good trick, a good way to train yourself to do it, is start with your mouth open, inhaling, but then close your mouth and continue to inhale in the same way without switching to the sensation that you are breathing more through your nostrils. So you can open and close as rapidly or as slowly as you wish until you get the sensation down so that you can keep your mouth closed and inhale and feel like your mouth is open. Don't worry if you're not getting the hang of it right now. It's all right. All it takes is a little practice, and it will happen. It will come. So, this is what we will instruct you to do during the meditation later on. But again, if you just find that right now it's easier to simply take in the deep breath through your nostrils as you're used to doing, that's fine. It can still work, but in time, with practice, you'll get the idea, and this type of breathing will allow you to accelerate into gamma a little bit more rapidly. All right? All right. So, we will get to that. But for now, once again, our deepest appreciation, our gratitude for the co-creation of this interaction and the allowance of our ability to interact with your world and see that many more reflections of the multidimensional crystal of creation reflected in each of you, which is a beautiful thing. I ask in return for that gift now, how may we be of service to you? You may begin with your questions and dialogues if you wish.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Oh, this is exciting.
Allow your microphone to be adjusted properly and step up and be bold so that all may hear what you have to share.
Okay. I have two questions.
All right.
The first is, I think, more personal for me, and
Yes.
the second one is, I think, for everybody.
Well, we will see.
Okay. For this last week, I generally have a strong heart. I'm a very healthy person, but I've been feeling some more heart palpitations.
Oh, all right.
And I'm not worried about what's going on physically necessarily, and
Yes.
I'm liking to think that
You may be picking up on electromagnetic fluctuations within the collective consciousness based on certain things that are happening on your planet right now.
I was hoping you'd say something like that. I was thinking maybe I'm picking up something like a new energy coming in, or my heart chakra opening, and I feel
There is that, but you're also allowing it to be sensitive to fluctuations in the electromagnetic field of the collective consciousness based on certain things that are going on your planet right now that are being worked out.
Is there a way that I can help my body, calm down so when this does happen, I don't freak out?
The gamma frequency can assist with this, deep meditation can assist with this, and redefining the idea of the experience can also assist with this, because the only reason you would, as you say, freak out is because you have a definition that what's happening has to somehow be negative. So when you redefine the experience in a more positive way and explore how it can serve you in a positive way, no matter what the origin of this may be, you'll start to get more beneficial effects, and those beneficial effects can help you experience the idea in a calmer way, in a more peaceful and balanced way.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
My second question is about absorption.
Absorption.
Mm-hmm. And
You mean like a sponge?
yes.
All right.
A few months ago, I went to see an herbalist, and
Yes.
when she looked at my tongue, she saw that I was eating healthy, but some of the nutrients weren't being absorbed into my body.
Then you may be overly toxic.
Okay.
Therefore, a thorough detoxification of the body may be in order, because when toxins lodge in the cells, they are prevented from absorbing nutrients that you may be putting into your body, and therefore the cells can't use them. So remembering that your air is polluted, your water is polluted, your food is polluted, it is perhaps of benefit for many of you to do a thorough detoxification of the body once or twice a year, so that your body has the ability to absorb the nutrients you put into it and thus be capable of healing itself and balancing itself.
Okay. And thank you for that.
Yes.
And I was, when she told me that, I started thinking about how not just physically maybe not absorbing things, how intellectually or mentally I feel I've put up blocks to absorbing information.
Why?
When I was a little girl, I remember when I was like 5 or 6, and teachers would ask, like, well, do you have this answer? And I would immediately go to this place in my head where
Yes.
it was wide open. And I would recall where I learned that information. It's almost like I knew where it was located and I would call it forward.
Yes.
And I thought that was normal for everybody.
Did you get chastised for not doing the work?
No, it wasn't that, but some other kids around
Yes.
didn't, they weren't able to access that knowledge. And
Yes.
I'm a tiny lady, and I was a very tiny little girl, and so I was physically intimidated by some of these kids. So I
All
just
right.
kind of like put a
We
adult-
understand. You
Yeah.
put up a barrier to the idea
A
of your
barrier.
ability to access so that you would fit in.
Right. And so now it feels like instead of having this open expanse to, like, I know where the information is,
Yes.
and I'm calling it towards me, but these walls go up.
Well, all right. Well, you still are buying into the belief system that if you drop those walls, that you will experience the same kind of intimidation now?
I think so. And I
Why?
want to get,
Why would you experience that now?
I guess I'm working through some fears. I
Well,
don't know.
yes. Of what besides the intimidation?
Being in, I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Looking stupid. I don't know, the attention. This is a little challenging for me to be up here, but I'm more excited than.
Well, all right. Well, congratulations for at least dropping that wall.
Right.
But again, the idea is you have to examine your belief systems about why you think that's still a reality for you. You're not that child anymore, are you?
I'm not.
All right. Well, are you sure?
No.
All right. Thank you for your
Yeah.
honesty.
Maybe I feel like I'm going to threaten others. There's a power in me that I'm going to get
Others may
chastised.
choose to feel threatened, but you can't threaten them. Just as
Okay.
you cannot be threatened unless you choose to feel threatened. So this is about the choices that you're making based on what you believe is most true for you in relation to the circumstance that you're describing.
Okay.
So it's about taking a moment to realize that you're no longer that little girl, that the circumstances now can be very different for you, but that it doesn't really matter whether they are or not, because it's about taking responsibility for your ability to respond. It's about allowing yourself to be who you truly are, knowing that that's actually what serves everyone best, whether anyone else recognizes that or not.
Okay.
Because otherwise you are withholding your gifts, you're withholding your frequency, and that's not helping anyone, neither you nor anyone else, who really needs to find you, the real you, and interact with the real you. And even if there are people along the way who may, because you are showing them something, reflecting something to them that they resent within themselves and projecting that resentment on you, that's their issue, not yours, if you're not doing anything intentionally malicious.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
But you are depriving the world of your gift, of your energy, of being who you are. And therefore, in a sense, you are, now I only mean this euphemistically, this is not a blame issue, you're not doing anything wrong, but in a sense, you're allowing as much damage to happen by withholding yourself as what you experienced through the intimidation. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes. Okay.
So, I understand that you may have beliefs that allow you to feel fear of being yourself because you are afraid that something will still happen. But again, you can only be affected if you believe that you can be, if you choose to align with the idea that someone presents to you of negativity. If that's simply not a vibration that you prefer, you don't have to feel intimidated, you don't have to feel threatened, you don't have to feel less worthy than, you don't have to feel like you stand out in a strange or awkward way. You are being yourself, which is what you were designed to be. And that's what makes all the difference in the world and gives those who are willing to see you for who you are at least an opportunity to see in you an example of an energy that will allow them to know it's okay to be themselves as well. So by remaining in your own darkness, you are also not allowing other people who are choosing to be in the dark to see the light at the end of their tunnel because you're not being the light you could be being. Does that make sense?
It does. And I've
Is
been
this
hearing
helping?
that. It is. That's the message I've been hearing from
Yes.
my.
Well, then you
Yeah.
know what it is you need to be.
Yes.
And if you feel the fear, then just stop, take a moment, ask yourself, well, what belief am I holding on to in order to feel this way? What is it I'm believing about myself to be true in this circumstance? And as you examine that and realize that you don't really need to hold on to those beliefs anymore, they simply aren't relevant for you anymore, and that they come from other people and have nothing to do with you, you will begin to relax and let them go because they will make no sense to hold on to.
And through this process,
Yes.
Will I be able to absorb more knowledge that's...
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Does that help?
It does a lot.
Did you absorb the knowledge we just shared with you?
I think I did.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
Thank you, my little sponge.
Thank you.
Please remember, this is very important to remember, all of you. Our civilization is not doing anything more than you're doing. We create our own reality, you create your own reality. It's just that we are aware that we're doing so. So the only difference between what we experience in our civilization and what you experience in your lives, in your civilization, is not a difference that we're doing something different. It's the degree of awareness that you have that you're doing the same thing that we are. That's the difference. So the more you are more aware of who you are and how you're creating your reality through your belief systems, then the more you will see that you are always in control of whatever it is that you experience in life. Yes?
Yes.
And to you, good day.
Good day to you too. Thank you. Thank you for your teachings. I am curious about the breath exercise that you just did.
Yes.
And I do a lot of work with people and work on myself quite a lot.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit more about the power of the breath to create transformation and how I can use it in my work with people who have experienced trauma and suffering.
Well, again, allowing them to go into the meditative state through this style of breathing, which sometimes is referred to as meditative breathing or yogic breathing. It has many different functions in that sense, but as we said, it energizes the body. It brings that in, which supports the body more fully to allow the person to feel more stabilized, more supported by that energy, and more connected to the idea of the higher levels of their being and their own consciousness. It fills them up in that sense in a very different way that allows them to feel like they're riding a wave and floating through an experience rather than having to push their way through or fighting against a current. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
All right.
Thank you. And I have one last question about the power of beliefs that can act as barriers.
Yes.
I've noticed that even when I intellectually understand that a belief is not relevant to me, to my life,
that it's difficult to still let go of?
There is a pattern that seems to continue to exercise a gravitational pull. No, that's just another belief.
Yes. Remember, a habit and a pattern is something you don't know you're doing by definition. Once you become aware of the pattern and the habit, you don't have it anymore. You have to be beyond it to know it was there. Because while you're in it, you don't see it as a habit. You understand?
I do.
Therefore, you have a definition in your society that once you become aware of a habit, you still now have to do something to let it go. Becoming aware of the habit is the end of the process of letting it go, not the beginning. And if you know that, then you will see that it is gone. If it still continues, what that means is you still have another belief you haven't found that says that for some reason you have to keep choosing to do something you don't prefer to do. Find that belief and let that one go. And if you still are behaving the same way, you still haven't found the core belief. Keep digging. When you truly find the core belief that underlies all those secondary beliefs and truly let that go, then you will see no more of that in your behavior because you will stop choosing it, because it will make no sense to choose it anymore because it has nothing to do with you anymore.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Please remember, you do not do anything that you don't on some level choose to do. It always comes out in your emotions, your thoughts, your behaviors. They are always the signal about what you believe to be true. And you then have the opportunity to use those behaviors, those thoughts, those feelings, to trace them back to what belief you must be holding on to generate those feelings, those thoughts, those behaviors. Just keep digging. Eventually you will find the core belief. But remember, this is the tricky thing about negative beliefs in particular. All beliefs will do whatever they can, they're designed to do whatever they can to reinforce themselves and make it seem as if no other belief is possible, because that's the only way you can actually experience a reality reflection of a particular belief, is they have to seem real and reinforce themselves to seem like nothing else is real. So when you're dealing with positive beliefs, that's not really an issue, because you don't care that the positive belief and the positive reality seems real. You follow me?
Yes.
But the idea is that when the negative belief uses the same methodology to reinforce itself and make it seem as if no other belief can take its place, now you start feeling the idea of the tricks and the tools that the negative belief uses to induce fear in you to not choose any other belief. You see, when you're dealing with positive beliefs, they allow you to choose negative beliefs if you want to, because they're positive. But when you're dealing with a negative belief, it's going to use whatever tool or trick it can to stop you from choosing a positive belief because it's negative. That's how it works. But if you know it's just a belief and you know you can change it because it's just a belief, then you have the skeleton key that always will unlock the idea of whatever a negative belief may be telling you to believe is true, when it's nothing but lies, smoke, and mirrors, just to get you to keep believing in the negative belief because it's doing its job in doing that. So you need the skeleton key of just knowing that no matter how bad it feels, no matter how fearful it may feel, the idea of changing or letting go of that belief, it's just a belief. And in fact, the stronger the fear to change gets, that's when you know you're closest to changing. Because that shows you that the negative belief is using every single one of its tricks and tools to get you to not change. It is pushing as hard as it can to make you as terrified as it can of changing. So when you are right at that brink of absolute terror, you are right on the edge of absolute freedom. Yes, you have that saying, it's always darkest before the dawn. Yes?
Yes.
Well, this is how negative beliefs work. They will make things seem very dark, very formidable, very fearful, very dreary, very dangerous to get you to not let them go. But when you start feeling that, you just need to keep going. I'm not saying you can't feel the fear. It's okay to feel the fear. You can acknowledge it, but you just have to know that that's just the lie that the negative belief is telling you to get you to not let it go. You have to know it's just a belief and just a trick. This is where the religious phrase comes from, the father of lies. It's just the negative belief system. That's all it is. It's going to lie to you. It has to lie to you to get you to believe something about yourself that just isn't true. You're unworthy. You don't deserve. You're incapable. You will be intimidated. Watch out, that's dangerous. These are all lies, but it has to tell lies because what it's telling you isn't the truth. And the only way to get you to pay attention to the lie is make you feel scared enough that you will not allow yourself to believe the truth. You are worthy, you are deserving, you are brilliant, you are beautiful, you are creative, you are loved. It's just doing its job. It's not being malicious, it's just how it's designed. But when you grow up and you know that, and you handle it in an adult way, you will know, all right, you're doing your job. Thank you very much. I'm very scared. Ooh. You've done a brilliant job of attempting to prevent me from moving in a direction I prefer. Well done. I applaud you. You're a brilliant negative belief. And now you've done your job and you can relax because I'm choosing something else. Thank you very much. You choose what you prefer without invalidating what you don't. Because invalidating what you don't prefer keeps you on the negative side, which is exactly what the negative belief wants you to do. Yes, please invalidate me. Come on back. This way, this side of the line. Go ahead, judge me, invalidate me, because all you're doing is judging and invalidating yourself again, and oh boy, I've got more to work with. You following this train of thought?
Yes, I continually reinvest in a negative belief by
Yes.
resisting it or criticizing it or attacking it.
Absolutely. And when you invest, to use your word, in a negative belief, the only thing that can happen is depreciation. Yes? But when you invest in the positive belief, appreciation. It's not an accident that you use these same terms for your money. You understand? You're investing in a negative or a positive. Depreciation, appreciation. So if you want your sense of wealth and value to grow, appreciate yourself and stop depreciating yourself. Does this help?
It does, thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Hi, Bashar.
And you, good day.
How are you?
Perfect, and you?
I'm doing great.
Oh, all right.
Really nervous.
You are what?
Nervous.
Oh, I thought you said you were doing great. You mean
well,
you're excited?
I'm excited, but I'm.
You're flopping back and forth between the
filtering
positive
through
and
my
negative version.
Yeah.
All right. That's all right.
Okay.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. And so, what would you like to discuss?
I was like, I wanted to be here for so long, and now that I'm here, I'm like, I don't feel like I'm here, and it's like, whoa, you know.
Oh, well said. Very eloquent.
Okay, so.
Yes.
I have this condition or whatever. I don't even know. Like,
Condition?
when I'm on my period,
Yes.
I have an energy
Yes.
that comes out of me and everywhere, and it's all over, and other people
Yes.
feel it too, and they go into altered states, and they
Is
channel.
that a bad thing?
Oh, no, it's not a bad thing. I just have never heard you talk about this, and I know, you
Well,
know,
you're
you say-
always giving off different kinds of energy frequencies that people who are sensitive to them can pick up on.
Okay.
So the idea is that when you're in that state and you're connecting to nature in that particular way, and the idea of your femininity and the idea of all of the energy of the lunar cycles, you're connecting to a very deep energy of mystery and discovery. And sometimes people can align with that and go along for the ride, and sometimes people may be a little bit afraid of that and not want to do that, but that's all right. You can be within yourself and give off that vibration to invite people to go on that journey of investigating the deep mysteries within their consciousness, or not. Is this all right?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I used to like,
Yes.
yeah, I used to define it negatively or whatever, but now I know that it's a good thing. And if I see somebody else
Yes.
projecting or doing something, I'm just like, uh-oh, that's probably me kind of doing that to them. You know, because sometimes
Well, they
they'll
may again
translate
be
it.
picking up on things that they don't want to look at within themselves.
Yeah.
Anytime someone picks up from you something that they don't want to look at within themselves, they may resent it and project that resentment onto you. But that's just another way of saying that they're afraid to look at the issues within themselves that your energy may be putting them in reminder of.
Okay.
You understand? So if you know it's not anything that you're intentionally doing,
Yeah.
and you understand it's their issue, you can let them work through it and let them do whatever it is that they feel like saying or doing or going away or what have you. Doesn't really matter. If they have attracted you to them, they did so for a reason, even if it's only to dip their toe in it and run away again.
Yeah. And my guru, Mahashakti Anandini Ma,
Yes.
she has this, she calls Shakti, and other people tune into her energy to help them reach altered states.
Yes.
Is that like what I'm doing with my energy? Can other people use that as a permission slip to go into this, like my
Sure,
guru
why
does?
not?
So that's the thing that does happen.
It can, yes, if they choose
That's
to use
pretty
it that way.
awesome. Okay.
Anything else?
Yes. All right. You say that negative energy is the same energy as positive energy, just filtered through negative beliefs.
Yes.
And that
It's using the same energy, but creating a different effect by being filtered through negative beliefs, yes.
So demons can attach to your negative energy and amplify your negative beliefs and amplify that.
It's not really an attachment. You might attract any different kinds of beings that might be choosing to operate on those negative levels and thus form a kind of an affiliation or an association where you magnify and amplify each other in that particular kind of energy. But there's no real attachment. You always have the ability to change your mind and change your energy about what it is that you prefer to associate with.
Well, sometimes I wake up and there's an energy. It makes it impossible. Like, I know that I'm not worthless, and I mean, I've worked on this. I know this.
Yes, makes it impossible to do what? Which is actually
Feel
not possible, that something
anything.
can be impossible, but go ahead.
It will. I can't access any of my knowledge, and the energy is so powerful that I
Yes.
just feel like I'm being crushed.
All right, well, how do you know it's not your own energy being filtered through a negative belief system about yourself?
That's what I'm saying. I have no idea what that belief system is because
Well, keep
usually
digging.
worthlessness.
Keep digging.
That's usually
It may
always
not
it.
be an issue of worthlessness. It can be other issues.
Everybody else that I know in my life will seem so distant, like I've already lived 1,000 lives past it, and everybody's dead and gone, and I feel really not even alone. Like, I feel one with everything, but I just don't feel like I'm here. Like, I remember who I am and everything, and it's shocking.
Yes, so.
So yeah.
But you obviously chose to be where you are for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
What do you imagine that reason is? Is there something in your life you would rather be doing that you're not doing yet? Expressing
Yeah.
yourself in some creative way you're not expressing?
Yeah.
Such as?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, yes, you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't have said yeah. You would have said, I don't know, first.
Well, I like to make everybody feel like an energy of like happiness and go into like the zone, the
By
gamut
doing
together.
what? What is your preferred method of expressing your love, your creativity, your positive energy? What are you not doing you would rather be doing?
I like to do psychotherapy with people, the belief discovery stuff.
And are you doing it?
Yeah, I am with my friends sometimes. And
But what is it you're not doing yet that you would rather be doing?
what is it that I...
Yes. Is there ways you could be expressing your joy more fully? Your
Yeah,
preference
I could
and
feel
your
worthy
excitement?
enough to, like Socrates, just walk around and be like, "Hi, everybody. What's your name? I'm Cheryl.
Yes.
Talk with me. Love yourself, and all that." But sometimes I like go to approach somebody and I'm like, I don't want to do it.
Why?
You know?
Why? We do it.
Because they look at me and they're like, "You're weird."
So what? So what? So you are holding
I mean,
yourself
who does
back.
that,
You are holding yourself
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Because people look and they're like,
So what you're saying is you are not willing to be yourself because of what other people think.
yeah. That's what
Well,
I'm
then
saying.
you're holding yourself back. And you know perfectly well then
Yeah.
what
When-
you're doing.
When I was a kid, it was easier, and now I feel like because I'm 31, I'm aging.
You're
and
still a
it's harder.
kid to me.
Yeah. What do you like?
I'm
500 or something?
154 right now. You are a whippersnapper.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You said that nobody would channel with cats or something like that.
I
but
didn't say that.
Okay, well, their energy is freaking crazy. They're weird, and they're really invasive, and they're so artistic.
Who is
and happy.
invasive?
The cats.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
They go in, and then they like.
They are not doing anything you're not inviting in.
Yeah, I like it, and it's just very strange.
It may be strange, but that doesn't mean it's invasive.
Yeah, it seems like there's like one cat like
Stop.
governing.
Stop.
The other.
You need to get a handle on your definitions.
Okay.
So you need to take some time, be reflective, be introspective, go inward, and start examining your inventory of definitions that you have about these things, because the words that are coming out of your mouth are very revealing as to why you're feeling confused about these things, because they are saying very clearly that you have definitions that are out of alignment with who you prefer to be, and that those definitions aren't working for you.
Mm-hmm.
So take some time to do some self-investigation and find all the definitions that are out of alignment with who you prefer to be. And when you catch yourself using definitions like, it's invasive, stop.
Well, I'm not defining invasive as a bad thing
Stop.
necessarily.
Stop.
Okay.
Don't ramble on. Stop yourself and do some self-investigation. Don't cover it up with extra words. All right?
But isn't that what you do when you like channel? You just keep going, kind of?
What I'm saying is stop.
Okay.
You need to take stock of certain definitions in your inventory and let go of the ones that are not helping you feel centered and balanced. All right?
Yep.
All right. So if you are willing, do that. It will help.
Thank you very much.
And then you will know exactly what to say, when to say it,
Yep.
and it doesn't have to be in any way, shape, or form expressed in a way that will be reflected back to you as if you're out of control. It will be more precise. It will be more well-timed. It will be more artistically expressed.
Okay.
All right?
Are these cats our cats, like our house cats, or do they have another planet? Or something like that? Like, because I think like maybe it's our cats or something. Cause,
Let's leave the energy of the cats alone for the moment.
okay.
Take stock of your inventory, and when you have done a little house cleaning, then you may find that the cat energy will be experienced differently by you.
Thank you.
All right?
Thank you.
Our love to you.
Love you.
Good day.
Bye.
Greetings, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I think you've answered all my life questions already. But
Oh, how synchronous of you.
still here.
That's all right. You don't have to have a question. You can make a statement if you wish, or if a question comes up, you can ask it.
Oh no, I have a question.
All right, well, speak up and be bold so that everyone can hear you.
Okay. The first one is about.
Oh, now suddenly she's got more than one. Nope, don't have any questions at all. Oh, wait, there's one. Oh, wait, now that's the first one of many. See how quickly things change?
Oh yes.
Different states of being allow you to perceive different things.
My job.
Your job.
Yes.
Which is what?
I work on Amtrak in the cafe car.
I beg your pardon?
I work on the train in a cafe car.
All right,
On the
and
train.
is this exciting or not?
It is absolutely not.
All right, then why are you there? Because you believe that nothing else that excites you has the ability to support you in the same way?
Pretty much that's it. Yes.
All right, well, are you at least, in whatever time you have, acting on your highest excitement to the best of your ability with no insistence on a particular outcome when you can, to give your excitement an opportunity to show you that it can actually support you? Are you at least doing something to allow your excitement to reveal and prove to you that you can be supported?
Yes.
Such as?
I'm going to school.
To do what?
Voice acting.
Voice acting. All right, this is exciting for you?
Yes, I love it.
Oh, all right. So, again, please remember, you have to honor whatever belief system you already have that you believe you need in order to be supported in life. It's not going to help you to jump the train if you don't believe that there is something soft to land on. So until such time as you prove to yourself that your excitement is capable of supporting you somehow, it would be wise to hold on to the things that you now believe you do need for support. But The rate at which that changes is up to you. The more you are willing to act on your excitement in all the ways that you can and be passionate about your passion, doing everything you can, every opportunity that you can act on or invent to act on your excitement to the best of your ability with zero insistence on a particular outcome, zero, then you will begin to see the synchronicities piling up. More opportunities will come to give you more opportunity to act on your highest excitement and allow your excitement to prove to you that it can support you in life. And then bit by bit, you will feel comfortable letting go of the things that you're doing now that are not representative of your excitement. And whatever that pace is, whatever that transition time is completely up to the rate at which you're willing to believe that your excitement can support you fully in life. But that pace is up to you. Is this making sense?
Absolutely.
This is just physics, you know. That's all it is. Nothing mysterious about it. It's what you put out is what you get back.
Mm-hmm. Well, so
Yes?
another thing that I do is...
Speak up, speak up.
Another thing that I do, I'm a vocalist. I sing.
Well, then speak up.
So,
Yes. So that's another expression of your excitement.
yes, it is.
All right. Well, what are you doing to take action in that direction already? Anything at all? What are you doing?
I sing at different churches.
All right. And this is fun and exciting for you?
I love it.
All right. And again, now, do you have a belief that the things that excite you are not capable of supporting you?
I have a belief that one is that I'm not good enough.
Not good enough.
So I say that, and then somewhere in the back of my mind says, well, that's not true. So I have...
Well, which one are you going to listen to?
Well...
What's coming out of your mouth or what's going on in the back of your mind?
I must be listening to the one that's coming out of my mouth because of where I am with it.
And therefore, why give that more credence than the other voice? Why? Your mouth isn't necessarily smarter than the back of your head.
Well, listening to your conversation about the negative energy,
Yes.
that appears to be the most powerful energy that I listen to.
Because you believe that it is. But it's not really. It's
Yes.
just attempting to convince you that it is. It doesn't actually have any more power.
Right.
It's tricking you into thinking that it does. But why pay attention to that if that's not what you prefer? What makes it seem like the negative actually has more power than the positive?
Well,
Yes.
sometimes I'll look to the past that does not exist.
Well,
And-
then, if you know it doesn't exist, what are you looking at? Nothing.
I know.
All right. But again, you can start to broaden your definitions about what support means. Remember that when we talk about the idea of support and abundance, there are many forms of abundance. Abundance is, as we have often said, just the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. That's it. Who cares how that gets accomplished? Sometimes it might be money, which exists on your planet. Sometimes it might be that you're being given a gift. Sometimes it might come in the form of synchronicity. Who cares what door it walks through as long as you are supported? Don't insist on any particular method of support, and then all the methods of support can come in when they are needed. And the ones that aren't there aren't the ones that will work. They're not the path of least resistance. You have to train yourself to know that your life already works, and that whatever form of abundance comes is the form that is representative of the path of least resistance and the support that you need at that moment. And stop insisting that it has to come another way. How about that idea?
I like that. And I'm getting better at work
Yes.
releasing the stuff that doesn't serve me.
All right, and another suggestion also, if you're going to hold on to doing the thing that you say is not really as representative of your excitement as these other things, at the very least, if you're going to hold on to it for a while, do it in the most exciting way you can do it.
That's what I was going to say. Like that I'm enjoying the part that I'm enjoying it.
All right. But again, up to you as to how long you hold on to the parts that are not representative of your joy.
Right. And did I hear you say
Yes.
that? Okay. So
Did you hear me say what?
Well, did I hear you say that you didn't say this exactly, but that I heard that I need to wait until the time.
You don't need to wait. It would be wise
Okay. That it would
to
be,
not jump
Right.
if you don't believe that you are supported in the jump, because then you will only be out there feeling like you have no support at all.
I see.
So, but it's up to you as to when you believe that acting on your excitement will support you instead of the support you're getting from the thing that you don't prefer to do. The universe doesn't care which one you choose, you know.
Yes.
It's up to you to decide what is capable of supporting you. And if you know that there's really no reason at all to assume that your excitement can't support you, then you will make the shift. If the thing that you don't prefer is capable of supporting you, why wouldn't the thing you do prefer be capable of supporting you? Where's the logic here?
Well, there isn't any.
Thank you. Well, when you really start to realize how illogical this is, you will start to feel more confident about the idea that your excitement can support you, because that's what it's designed to do. That's literally what it's designed to do. Because any definition of excitement that contains anything but the ability to be supported, guided effortlessly through life, driven forward in the way that you need to be, any other definition than that isn't a definition of excitement. It's something else. It's not possible for a true definition of excitement to contain an inability to be supported in your excitement. That just means you're choosing something other than excitement when you have that kind of an experience, that you're suddenly not supported. It doesn't mean your excitement isn't supporting you. It means that you stepped out of your excitement. That's your first clue.
So because what it feels like is in the way is the fear of not being able to support myself.
I know that's what it feels like, but
Yes.
remember, feelings don't exist in a vacuum. They come from what you believe to be true.
Right.
So if you feel like your excitement can't support you, that means you're holding on to a belief and a definition of excitement that isn't a definition of excitement, that says if I act on my excitement, I may not be supported. But if you understand the definition of excitement in its pure form, you will understand that that statement cannot be a definition of excitement. It's a definition that's different.
I see.
So you haven't yet actually created a true definition of excitement for yourself. You haven't yet truly allowed yourself to understand what a pure definition of excitement actually is. You're still toying around with other definitions that may in some way seem or appear to be sort of kind of like a definition of excitement, but they're not. They're something else altogether and will give you a different reality experience altogether. If you have a definition that says, well, I would like to act on my excitement, but I'm not really sure it can support me, what kind of a reality reflection do you think you're actually going to see in the things that pop up in your life? You're going to get opportunities that are going to look like your excitement that are not going to be able to support you because you don't believe that your excitement can. So you're getting exactly what you asked for.
Yes.
Something that looks like excitement that can't support you. That's a reflection of what you're putting out. It's that simple. You just have to be clear based on the reflection what you're putting out and make course corrections and adjustments to actually allow yourself to go into a true definition of excitement so that you can get a true reflection of excitement. Not that you need to. That's the paradox. Remember that the idea, the measure of true change within yourself is not whether the outside reflection changes, it's whether you respond differently to the outside, even if it still looks the same. That's how you prove you've changed. because you're not making your state of being conditional on what's happening around you. You're just making a statement that this is the state of being I prefer, and it doesn't matter what's going on around me because those things can't affect me in any way I don't choose to be affected. So it doesn't matter what's happening. They're just circumstances. They're just neutral. They're just props. I choose what state of being I prefer, regardless of what's going on around me. And when you do that, then paradoxically, what's going on around you has more opportunity to change to reflect the true change you've made. Not that it has to, not that you need it to, it just will, because now you have proven you've truly changed, because you don't care whether the outside changes or not. You're going to be happy anyway.
Yes.
And that's when you're truly happy, and that's when the outside can actually reflect the happiness back to you. Is all this making sense?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Is this helping?
Yes, it is.
Are you willing to sing a new song?
Absolutely.
All right. Then thank you.
I have one more question.
Do you?
Yes.
How abundant in questions you are.
And it's about age.
Age?
Yes.
You mean
Getting
like the Cretaceous period? That kind of an age? Or a millennium? That kind of an age?
No,
or
like
do you mean your own personal
yearly,
age?
my own personal yearly age.
Yes, I know. Just having a little fun to lighten you up about that concept. What about your age? How old are you?
I'm 71 years young.
Yes. So if you know that you are young, why are we talking about your age?
Well, because that's a word that comes out, but I do feel older. And
Well, you feel more mature.
yes, and the body doesn't do what it wants to do all the time.
So what? You will find ways to act on your excitement in ways that now fit what you are capable of doing, and paradoxically, when you do that, you may find your body is capable of doing more. When you let what is be what needs to be, and be okay for what it is now, and act on it to the best of your ability as it is, you create more opportunity for what is to become something different. And adapt to your energy that you're putting out. So move forward to the best of your ability. That's all you need to do. And you may surprise yourself at what you'll be capable of doing when you're not holding yourself back from being who you truly are. Mm-hmm. Remember that the concept, in many ways, of the so-called negative side of aging on your planet is because you're actually not moving forward in your true energy. You're stagnating, you're holding back, you're not letting your full energy support your body. You're cutting yourself off from that energy source by not acting on your full passion, and therefore the body can, when cut off from that energy, start to wither and die. But when you fill yourself full of life, it's quite possible that you may actually even see a reversal of age. Because you'll fill yourself up and plump yourself out. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Does this help?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Hello.
And to you, good day.
Hi, I have questions about parallel realities.
Yes.
I try to understand better, so maybe I'll make some statements and then you can
All right.
elaborate. So like in quantum mechanics, they say that all possibilities are there, and the moment that the possibility is observed,
Yes.
the waves will collapse.
Yes.
Right? So my question is if all possibilities are there at the same time,
Yes.
but and you say like all worlds are there, but
Yes.
if they are not observed, are they like as real as what we experience
They are
here?
because they're observed by someone else, not you. Maybe other versions of you are observing them and experiencing those parallel realities where you are only experiencing what you chose to observe with your frequency.
So there are literally like a billions of
An infinite
parallel
number, yes.
realities that are collapsing like this one
Constantly.
constantly.
Yes,
Okay.
moment to moment. You are shifting through billions of parallel realities every second to create the illusion of time and space and change. Otherwise, each parallel reality would just be a frozen snapshot with no experience and no movement in it. You have to shift your consciousness through those in the same way a projector light shifts through different frames on a film strip to create the illusion of movement and change in a movie.
But then what is the meaning if it's already all happened?
The meaning is what you put into it in terms of the new experience you have because you're looking at it from a new perspective. The structure of existence never changes. Your perspective of it does. And when you change your perspective of it, there's new meaning in the relationship that you have to the structure that doesn't change.
But it's already been perceived, all of it.
But not by you. Do you understand? Not by you on this level. It's being perceived, all of it. All of it is being perceived by all that is, all at once, but all that is doesn't need to change. It can't. It is what it is. The only way it can experience the idea of changing is by creating what appear to be fragments of itself that don't experience all of it all at once, and those fragments are called you, and you, and me, and you. So that all that is gets to experience the idea of itself from a perspective where it doesn't experience all of itself. Does that make sense?
Yes, but when it's already happened, because there is no time and space, this already happened.
It exists right now. It's not that it happened. That's a temporal statement. It just exists. Time is one of its creations. So it can play with time, you can play with time, and make it flexible and malleable in many different kinds of ways. But the way you're playing with it right now, here, in this experience, is that you're creating the side effect called time and space and change in order to pretend that it doesn't exist all at once so that you can rediscover it from a new perspective, and that's how you grow in your relationship to all that is.
Okay. And how does that relate to like evolution? If all realities are
Again, it's
possible?
the same idea. Evolution is just the path you're choosing through the parallel realities that exhibit a particular kind of change that you call an evolutionary one, because you are creating a sense of continuity in that path that makes it look like you're going from this to this along a particular process line. You could really skip all over the place if you wanted to, but you don't, because you're playing the physical reality continuity game, and you want to experience the idea of evolutionary process, because that's one of the ways you will discover new perspectives of who and what you are. That's just the name of the game here.
Okay.
Not everyone experiences it that way in every reality.
Okay. And like some people like say that, you know, like how I perceive it now, there is pain, there is war, there is this,
Yes.
that there is like another reality where people don't like perceive. Okay, I can understand that you can shift your vibration and your frequency, and
Yes.
so your perception to
Yes.
why there is pain, but is there really also a parallel reality where the war doesn't like
Of
exist?
course. If you can imagine it, somewhere it's real, because you can't imagine non-existence. So there are an infinite number of versions of Earth, just to keep it earthbound in this conversation, and there are an infinite number of experiences on those different Earths. There are Earths that are absolute paradise. There are Earths that are absolute hell. There are Earths that have already destroyed themselves utterly. The idea is that you're shifting yourself through a number of those parallel versions of Earth that are representative of the path that you are choosing to take. You never change the world you're on. You just shift yourself to another version of Earth that is now closer in reflection to the change in vibration you've made within yourself. So you're going through all those parallel versions, And if you are of a certain state that is representative of the idea of your world being a peaceful one, then you are heading through a variety of versions of Earth to the ones that are only expressing the reflection of peace. If you stay on that track, if you stay in that state of being, that's where you'll wind up. But you're not changing the planet you were on. You're leaving that version and shifting to another one that's already existing, that's more reflective of the change in your vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes, and then eventually, like, will everything go back to like perfection of God, or?
That's one way to look at it, but again, remember, everything already exists. So you may experience it that way as going back to the perfection of all that is, but that's still not the end, because there is no end. There is still other things you can imagine from that state of being that can still be explored from other perspectives of all that is, that you can't imagine here because you're not seeing from that level yet.
Mm-hmm. But that is evolution, because you can see onto us like
Yes.
in a lower
It's a
state
type of
evolution.
evolution, yes.
Okay.
It's one way that evolution can express itself. Yes. Does that help?
Yeah, I have to re-listen, but yes.
Oh, all right, if you insist.
Okay, I have one more small little question.
Small, little, tiny question. All right.
Maybe a big answer, but when something doesn't, can it be that something is fearful to you, and so you don't, and you want it, but you don't feel the excitement because the fear is too big?
Yes, well, what about it?
Yeah, I just
Many
wondered.
times people can dampen their excitement with fear-based beliefs and not recognize their excitement, yes. And also the reverse can happen. Something may actually not truly be representative of your excitement, but someone can believe that it is when in fact it's not, because they may be in denial about what actually would be more exciting and they're afraid to do it. So they will pretend that something else is actually their excitement when it really has nothing at all to do with their excitement. So it can go in both directions.
Okay, great.
Does that help?
That helps. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day. Making sure you're all awake.
I have two questions.
Yes.
The first one is breakaway civilizations, secret space program.
Yes. We're not going to go too much into what you call your conspiracy theories. There is some truth to some of them, but we're not going to sit here and validate all the negativity, because it's only going to lock people into that vibration, which is not what we're here to do. Those things will not affect you in a negative way if you don't choose to be affected by them negatively. Does that make sense?
Yes, I do perceive it as negative.
Well, again, the idea is that you can recognize that there may be people on your planet that have negative fear-based agendas, but again, it doesn't have to affect you if you remain in a positive state. You will shift to a reality eventually where that's no longer the case, where it never was the case.
Right, right.
So yes, there are people who have a belief in lack and have a belief in control and believe they're out of control and believe they have to manipulate reality and force other people to do this and be clandestine and all of that. But all of these things are just an expression of them believing in their lack of control. They have one real and only one real tactic. And that is manipulating information to the degree where they allow others to believe they're more powerful than they are. So if people buy into the idea that they have more influence than they do, that they're more powerful than they actually are, then suddenly they're perceived and experienced to be more powerful than they are. But that's what they actually do. They manipulate information to make themselves seem more in control and more powerful than they actually are. But they're not really in control of anything at all. In fact, they're panicked that they're not in control, which is why they cover a lot of stuff up.
Right. The reason why I asked is
Yes.
there are some people who claim to have been to the moon and Mars who were part of that.
Well, I understand, and while there is a small amount of truth in a different direction in some of that, the biggest picture that has been painted of that is not actually accurate.
Right, I appreciate that.
All right.
Yeah. The other question is, I've had arthritis since I was in my teens.
How exciting.
Oh, it was really exciting, I can assure you. And I've tried quite a few
All right,
things.
now stop.
Right.
Understand, all of you, we do not really do health readings anymore. It's not our job anymore. We've delivered all the health information that it's our job to deliver. And we always remind you that even though you may get help to continue this from some other source, the first step in any disease is the idea of detoxification, because 80 to 90% of all disease symptomologies on your planet actually come from the fact that you're highly toxic. When you detoxify yourself, then whatever symptomology is left is actually what you're dealing with. And you may take a different course from there. But the first step we always encourage is to thoroughly detoxify yourself and see if anything is left for you to deal with first. That's the easiest, most simple step that can actually alleviate most of any difficulty. But that's really all the health information we can deliver at this time. You will be assisted from other sources.
Right, I was really also thinking of how to shift my paradigm.
Are you acting on your highest excitement every possible moment that you can with absolutely zero insistence on a particular outcome? Yes or no? Hesitation means
yes.
no.
I was going to say most of the time.
That means no.
Right.
Doesn't matter if you're doing it most of the time. Obviously, there are times when you're not, and those are the things you need to focus on. The times where you're doing it, that's fine. But remember, we gave you an analogy some time ago that in your past, technologically speaking, when you first created things like motor car engines, they were very basic, they were very simplistic. They could be dirty, they could be filthy, they could be covered with mud, and they would still chug along, and chug along. But now in your high technology age, you have machines with very, very precise tolerances, and the smallest speck of dirt that doesn't belong there can freeze the entire engine. It has to be really clean the more accelerated you are. So even though you may be acting on your excitement most of the time, if there is even a time when you're not in an important area of your life, that's going to stop the entire operation until you do. Then the machine will start again. So it's fine that there may be many areas where you're following your excitement. That's wonderful. Bravo. But look at the areas where you're not, because that's where you need to be focused if you want the entire machine to operate holistically. Yes?
Yes, I
Does
see
this
that.
help you?
Yes, it does.
Remember that the idea of arthritis symbolizes inflexibility and stiffness. You need to be more flexible, be less stiff. You need to really examine all of those fine little grains and let go and blow them out and let go of the things that are truly no longer relevant for you. You will all at some point perhaps cross a threshold. Again, remember, it doesn't mean that you will be divesting yourself of negative beliefs for the rest of your life. You might, but you don't have to. The process of divesting yourself of things doesn't always have to remain in the realm of negative beliefs. At a certain point, when you've let go of every negative belief, you will still continue to divest yourself of things that are simply no longer relevant for your life, for who you are. They don't have to be negative, they just simply might not be relevant anymore. So this cleaning out process will continue for the lifetime, even if you've already divested yourself of all the negative beliefs. Yes, because you're constantly refining in yourself. Make sense?
Yes, it does. Thanks.
Does this help you?
Yes, it does.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
A few questions that all revolve around the symbol of the pyramid, the triangle with the eye at the top.
Yes.
I've started communing with a plant teacher years ago, and I was flooded with that vision.
Yes.
And over the years, it's continued, but more recently, it has turned into a pyramid with an eye with wings now.
Oh, all
and a few months ago, I had a dream where I had this Brazilian man on a table, and I placed my hand over a lump that he had on his knee, and I saw myself connecting to this triangle with an eye out in space. And I'm trusting that you can help me understand this.
Well, you're awakening to some connections you have to other levels and dimensions of consciousness and other entities that you have formed connections with that may be symbolized by those that are very ancient. But you have connections to them energetically and can draw upon that to express those energies and apply those energies in your life in beneficial ways.
Such as in the gamma state, how can I focus on those energies while I'm in the doing the channeling state in the gamma?
Well, again, when you're in the channeling state, you are in gamma, and whatever symbols need to appear and whatever connections need to come up will automatically do so, because in that gamma state, in the channeling state, these things happen synchronistically and automatically. You don't have to plan to grab this and grab that. What needs to come up will come up in exactly the right order, at exactly the right timing. It's an automatic, self-guiding, self-perpetuating, self-expanding process.
Perfect.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely, it
All
does.
right.
And John of God, what is that place?
What is that place?
Yes, the man that lives
It's
in
a
that
place where a particular individual is radiating and connecting to a certain frequency that, if other people decide to match that frequency, can allow themselves to heal themselves in certain ways or find information or answers to things they have been searching for.
And speaking of healing, would you be able to give me a permission slip to improve my eyesight to the point where I no longer need glasses?
Look within.
Thank you very much.
Does that help you?
That absolutely.
I don't mean to be facetious, but really the idea is that sometimes you don't see outside because you need to see more clearly inside first. And it may never be necessary for you to see that clearly outside. Do you understand?
That's
If it is necessary, it will happen. The more you act on your excitement to the best of your ability with no insistence on a particular outcome, you will see everything you need to see. Sometimes there are things you don't need to see. So your vision can become very specific. You can see certain things very clearly, and other things can remain fuzzy and sort of off to the side because they really simply are not relevant for you at this particular moment to focus on.
understood.
Make sense?
Thank you so much, Bashar.
Does that help you?
Absolutely, it does. My unconditional love to you and your people.
And you as well.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
From the morning, I'm getting a strong feeling that you may have a message for me. If you have anything from my higher self or higher mind, can you?
Oh, I'm going to ask you the same question I've been asking, because that's what the higher mind would ask. You do understand that the sensation you call excitement, that's actually your body's translation of a message from the higher mind, saying, do this first, do this now. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I do.
Are you acting on your excitement to the best of your ability with no insistence on a particular outcome every moment that you can?
I'm not.
Why?
I don't know why.
Yes, you do. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid will happen if you do?
I think I just feel maybe lonely or just by myself.
Lonely.
Yeah.
So you're not acting on your highest excitement, which could attract all sorts of people to interact with you in exciting ways because you're lonely?
Yeah, I don't know what the fear is. I'm just thinking maybe
Yes,
that
you
is,
do. You're just not digging deep enough.
Mhm.
You have to make it conscious. You can't be afraid to find out what your fear is.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you're stopping yourself. You're blocking yourself. You're isolating yourself. And that's why you're experiencing loneliness.
Okay.
Because you're afraid of what will happen if you actually become who you really know you are. What do you imagine is the most terrifying thing that might happen if you acted on your excitement to the degree that you would like to?
Yeah, I'm not very clear on that either.
Is there something that you're not doing you would rather be doing? Anything at all?
Yeah, I should be writing. I should be.
Don't say should. That's a self-judgment.
Mhm.
Is there something that you would really prefer to be doing that you're not doing? Writing would be exciting.
Writing, yes.
And what else?
And using my voice somehow
How?
I feel
What would be one of the most exciting ways you could use your voice?
Being a spiritual teacher, making people understand, what their highest excitement is, and
You mean helping people
Helping
to
them.
understand?
yes,
All right, now let's go back to the writing. So you're saying you're not writing in the way that you would like to be?
no.
Why not? If you know that that's one of your expressions of excitement, what excuses or reasons are you giving yourself that make it seem logical to not do what you say would be exciting?
I'm
Why
using-
isn't it exciting enough for you to be doing it?
I'm just looking at, day to day, hour to hour things that, this needs to be done and that small thing needs to be done. And
Then you don't understand how excitement works. You don't understand the kit, the toolkit. The toolkit of excitement, when you start acting on the formula, and again, please understand, this is just a description of a mechanism. It works flawlessly. It's working right now. It's just that you're using the mechanism to produce things you don't prefer instead of using it to produce things that you do prefer. But the mechanism is flawless. It always works. If you act to the best of your ability on anything that contains more excitement than any other option, take it as far as you can until you can take it no further, and do that action with absolutely no insistence on a particular outcome. You activate the complete kit of excitement, and the tools in that kit are, it becomes the thing that supports you in all the ways you need to be supported. It becomes the driving engine that moves you through life in the most accelerated way. It becomes the organizing principle of synchronicity that shows you exactly what you need to do in what order and when, and what you don't have time to do at the end of any given day didn't need to be done. It is also the path of least resistance that allows you to flow through your life most effortlessly. It is the path that connects to all other expressions of excitement, no matter what form they may come in. It is also the reflective mirror that reveals to you anything within you as a definition that may be out of alignment with your excitement, so you can examine it, make it conscious, let it go, and add that energy to your excitement so you can continue to expand. And it leaves nothing relevant out. It's a complete kit, self-contained, self-guiding, self-perpetuating, self-attracting, bringing you everything you need. So when you say, well, I have to do this and I have to do that, and these things are getting in the way of my excitement, you're working your life backwards. Because by acting on your excitement, whatever really needs to be done will get done, because the timing will be provided for it. And if it doesn't get done, most likely it didn't need to be done either that day or maybe even ever. You have to trust that the guiding principle will actually show you what you need to do, because many people on your planet are very, very busy doing all sorts of things that they probably don't really need to do. You can be much more efficient and streamlined in your life by allowing the principle of synchronicity to guide you as to what actually needs to be done that's in alignment with who you are, and when it needs to be done that's in alignment with who you are, and with whom it needs to be done that's in alignment with where you are, and where it needs to be done that's in alignment with who you are, and nothing else.
Okay.
Does this help?
Yeah, it does. And I feel.
So when will you start writing?
I'll start tonight, this evening.
All right. Is that exciting?
Yes.
And drop any expectations about what the writing is supposed to get you or what's supposed to happen with it. Do it because that's what excites you, for its own sake. That's it.
Okay.
We share these ideas. We communicate with your civilization and other civilizations because this is who we are. This is what excites us. If you don't pay attention to anything we share with you, we don't care. We would do this anyway because this is what excites us. But we know that because it is what excites us and it's because it is who we are, there are those who will absorb the information and make it their own and use it to accelerate their lives in a positive way. We know that must be so. So we don't have to care who does and doesn't pay attention to the information. We know the people that need to pay attention to it will pay attention to it and use it. We know that the people who don't need to use it won't pay attention to it, and they're not our audience anyway, so who cares?
Okay.
I do this because this is who I am, and that's the only reason to do it. No other reason. Whatever happens, happens, and we trust that whatever happens will be exactly the thing that needs to happen in perfect order. Because we know that's how things work. It's as simple as that.
And I feel the procrastination habit is also connected to this because what I'm procrastinating on are the things which don't excite me, but I'm not doing what excites me. And higher mind is showing me that you are not doing these things because I'm not excited about
but you can use your procrastination in a positive way, because if you are attempting to do something that you say excites you, but you're procrastinating, that's your first clue that your definition of how you're going about it isn't in alignment with who you are. Because if it was, you would be on it. You'd be jumping at it. You'd be doing it. You'd be passionate about being passionate. Any procrastination to do the thing you say you would love to do shows you that you're not going about it in the way that actually works best for you. Discover what that is. Investigate what that would be, and you'll get more excited about it, and you will see that it's an actual easy path. It's just that you're thinking it's more difficult than it is because you're going down a path that isn't yours.
So investigation, the best method is to go into meditation? Is that what
If you want to use meditation, that's fine, but you can think it through too.
Okay.
You just have to discover what your definition of your relationship about how you're going about something is, and find out if you can, with your imagination and communication with the higher mind, create a definition that works better for you than the one that you're using. For example, if you're saying, well, I am excited about writing, but somehow I don't seem to be able to get started, well, what's a reason why I would hold back from doing what excites me? Well, let's see. Maybe I think for some reason I'm going to get lost on the page, or I'm going to have to sit there at the computer for hours and hours typing away. Well, maybe that's not your way of writing. Maybe if you go out somewhere in a park and take a piece of paper and a pencil, maybe the words will flow more naturally for you that way. If there's any procrastination, it just means you're not doing it in the way that's most in alignment with you. Find out what the way is that's most in alignment, and everything will start flowing again.
Gotcha.
Yes?
Okay. Yes.
Does that help?
Yeah, it does.
How exciting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is
That's it.
Okay, thank you.
If nothing else, and you feel procrastination, if you're really a writer, you would write about your procrastination. And then you won't be procrastinating. Simple as that. If you're a writer. Know that you're a writer in everything that you do. Even if you're shopping for groceries, you're doing it as a writer would.
Hello, Tadea.
Nania!
I think we have about 15 minutes left, and so maybe I'll do a couple of Ustream questions,
all right.
and then if you'd like us to call someone else up, that'd be fine. Okay, the first one has to do with the attacks in Paris.
Yes.
The terrorist attacks.
Well, we long ago told you that you are going to see an increase in violence as you get everything out on the table to decide what kind of a world you really wish to have. And we said that because everything is starting to dissolve and fall apart, you're going to probably see an increase in instability. And you're going to see reflections of individuals who are in fear and feel disempowered for a variety of reasons and expressing a kind of insanity on your planet until such time as you start to really balance yourself, look at the real deep causes of these things, and start to communicate with each other in ways that are far more constructive. Now, there may still be those who don't want to listen, and eventually they will be, in a sense, evolved out of your society by the shifts that you make. But nevertheless, this is the time of disassembly before you can reorient yourself and reassemble your path in the direction of a parallel version of Earth that you prefer.
You answered that person's question completely. Thank you.
Well, we're nothing if not efficient.
This person's writing in from China,
Yes.
And they said that they are a university student and they don't like the educational system at all.
Well, there are many different kinds of educational systems that are being created on your planet now, but if they find none to their liking, they can always create a new one.
Right, because they're saying, will there be any change for the education system on our planet?
Yes,
And
as
what
we
should-
already said, there are changes taking place. What they really need to involve is the three-step process that we have outlined, where you create an environment, a safe environment, in which you can teach the idea of consequences of your choices in a way that doesn't have disastrous repercussions, allowing people to truly understand what these consequences are and take responsibility for them before they try them out in the world. Also, interactivity in this way, making it as real simulations as possible so they really feel like it's a real world situation, is of paramount importance, because again, if they think they're sort of faking it because it is a simulation, you have to make it as interactive and real as possible so they will understand truly the experience of the consequences of their choices, but again, in a safe environment where it doesn't ripple out into the world. And third, the idea of adapting the lesson to the thing that excites the person instead of attempting to force their excitement into a lesson box that doesn't work for them is of paramount importance. Learn by doing, learn by experience, and allow the person to learn through the way in which they are designed to learn. Now, this is beginning to change in some of the systems on your planet. It is called a developmentally appropriate system, or a developmentally appropriate process, where each child is taught to their strengths and not just homogenized into a class where everyone is taught exactly the same thing in exactly the same way. This is a step in that direction, where you start to tailor what you're teaching to each individual based on their excitement, their way of absorbing information, their way of interacting with the world, their way of processing information, and allowing them to learn by experience rather than simply throwing facts and figures at them, which will usually just bounce off their skulls anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting. Back in the 60s, there was an educational system called Summerhill,
Yeah.
where the children didn't have to attend class at all. They lived on site, and then they were able to learn whatever they wanted to. And interestingly, they found within a couple of weeks, all the kids that were wanting to stay home started showing up at class.
Yes.
And they started creating models and things like that to work from.
Yes.
And a lot of those kids ended up going to Harvard.
Yes.
So it was
Learning
interesting.
is exciting. People want to learn if they are allowed to learn the way that it's natural for them to learn, in the way that's aligned with their excitement. People are sponges. They will absorb it all. They will find ways to adapt information that may be necessary in your society into a methodology that they can relate to. And then they will learn what they need to learn. They will learn the guidelines. Yes, of course, we understand there are certain things that may be handy for everyone on your planet to know, certain guidelines that are part of living your life in a productive and safe way. But these things can all be learned in a way that is in alignment with excitement. They don't have to be learned in a rote manner, and they can't be learned in a rote manner.
It kind of brings to mind also that when we listen to your information,
Yes.
And even the recordings of your information,
Yes.
there's a holographic effect with it where when you listen to it, you hear something different every time
Yes.
because it seems so specifically designed
Yes.
to interact with the individual who's listening, their consciousness, in a
Yes.
way that's very specific to what they need to learn or what they're
Yes.
excited to learn.
Exactly, because you are different people at every moment, and you will hear different things that we have embedded in the communications at different times.
So is it just a frequency thing, like the kids in
Yes.
school? I don't know that they feel that kind of experience when they're being taught something.
That's because they're not being taught holographically.
Okay, so what is the energy that the information's imbued with that allows people to experience that?
It's what we just said. In a holographic presentation where you know that everyone will pick up what they need to pick up, how they need to pick it up, when they need to pick it up, there is the allowance for that to happen in their own way, at their own pace, in their own timing, rather than the insistence that if they don't get it now, they've missed the train. Goodbye, sorry, you fail. It's the delivery of information in a way that contains the information and structures the information in a way that is actually designed specifically to allow everyone to absorb the information they need, and only the information they need, in exactly the way they need to absorb it.
And is that also because the frequency that you're sharing is imbued with the gamma frequencies?
Yes.
So
Because we are inducing you to also go into the gamma frequency in order to absorb the information on deeper levels of your consciousness by radiating that frequency and by allowing you to match that frequency if you wish to.
Okay, so it's perfect. When you teach from the gamma state,
Yes.
and you share that energy, the individual that's listening then is encouraged to harmonize and reach the gamma state.
Yes.
And then they have a holographic experience with the information they're receiving.
Yes, and this is why it's up to the adults who are teaching to be very, very imaginative and allow themselves to teach from the state of the higher mind, the gamma state, the imagination state. Because if there is a gamma teacher, it's far more probable that there will be a gamma class.
And I don't know if this is the same topic, but I am wondering, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, why is that so effective with human consciousness?
Because it's a physical form of telepathy. The idea, again, remember, is that telepathy is not that you're reading someone else's mind, it's that you're having the same thoughts at the same time because you're on a similar wavelength. NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, entrains you to actually match in every way that you possibly can the actual physical and neurological modality of someone else. You're mirroring their actions, their behaviors, every movement, every sigh, their body language, their attitude, their energy. And when you match them perfectly enough, you will actually start having the same thoughts at the same time, and you will experience telepathy. You will know exactly what they're thinking by mirroring them.
And then that simultaneously sort of reprograms your psyche?
It can, yes.
Okay.
Depending upon what it is you're mirroring and what your intent is behind mirroring it. This is why the idea of role models can be important. Again, of course, you will always be unique. You'll always do it in your own way. But if you're picking positive role models that are already representative of a typical kind of behavior and reality and lifestyle that you prefer for yourself, well, by mimicking and doing the kinds of things that that person is doing in their life to the best of your ability, you start to take on that energy. You start to mirror that reality, and you will allow whatever version of it is unique to you to manifest in the easiest and most effortless possible way. You can use NLP that way. Does that help?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how our brains are wired to allow us to absorb information.
It
in
is the
specific
receiver.
ways.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the receiver between the higher mind and the physical mind, and it is wired to receive an array of frequencies on fractal scales, and it will interpret and download and transform those frequencies in a way that is relevant for whatever is possible in the belief system to be capable of being held in the personality.
You're really expanding our perception of what we can do to teach in schools, in the educational system, from a completely, really new place, and then help these children to have a much more expansive and amazing
it's not really that
experience
new because
learning.
there are times in your history where other civilizations used to understand this and use it. In particular, some of the ancient Atlantean teachings were more in this direction. But you've forgotten this and now you're remembering, so that's okay.
That's great. Just so much more fun to learn as a kid when you're doing
Yes.
what you love to do.
And one of the most important things for allowing you to learn is to make sure that you are fueled up. So now, please, take your break and nourish yourselves so that you will be more capable of absorbing more information without wearing yourselves out. We will resume this transmission after your nourishment break. Enjoy.
Thank you, Debbie.